Good afternoon and welcome to our first ever ARRI Hour. The current COVID-19 crisis has been impacting all of us in our personal and professional life across the Asia Pacific. In the past month, ARRI had to cancel almost all customer visits, product presentation, trade show around the region and around the world. This new live event format, we would like to maintain the link with you. And during the product presentation, like we do when we visit you in your country, we want to do that with this live format. This is an interactive live stream, so we would like to have a lot of questions from you on the live chat. We will answer all these questions after the product presentation. Several ARRI colleagues from sales, product management, system solution will be joining the chat, assisting me in answering the question. The main topic today is obviously Orbiter, but feel free to ask any question related to lighting with us. You want to engage, any topic you want to discuss, we are happy to answer. Also present in this live chat, it's all our colleagues from Beijing, Tokyo, Seoul, ready to translate your question and exchange with you directly in Chinese, Japanese, and Korean. Finally, I would like to thank our ARRI ambassadors who are also with us from Indonesia, Vietnam, the Philippines, and Thailand to chat with you and translate your question. This ARRI Hour is going to be a regular event, so before we start, let us know what would you like to discuss with us during the next lighting edition. Is it Sky Panel, video mapping, Stellar, Skylink? You can vote on the poll box, or you can propose any topic you would like on the live chat. Okay, so let's start. Before I talk about the Orbiter, I want to talk about our current LED ecosystem. You know the Sky Panel, certainly you know the L series, Stellar in the middle to control all that, Skylink as a radio control. You are familiar with that. But maybe what you don't know is ARRI has been developing LED since 2005. The first LED product we sell was the PAX in 2008, and it was already an RGBW LED engine. So as you can see, we have more than 15 years of development for the color LED behind us. So Orbiter is the summary and encompass all this development. So what new in Orbiter? Everything new. You saw the marketing statement, but I believe after 20 minutes with me, you will agree that really everything is new. So what is Orbiter? In a nutshell, Orbiter is an ultra-bright LED point source with a variety of optics, changeable optics, new color science, advanced software, state-of-the-art electronic, and very important, built with versatility and for the future. And I will talk with you a lot about future-proof because it's a key part of the Orbiter development. With me today to show you the Orbiter, Thomas from the system group. He will assist me. So the first thing we can do is to put the Orbiter on the yoke, and you will hear the iconic noise that makes. It's a click, and that means your Orbiter is secure on its yoke. That's a patented yoke designed by ARRI for the Orbiter. The first thing I'm going to talk with you about is our QLM, Quick Lighting Mount. That's where you install all your optical accessories, easy, safe, and quick. The first thing you see on this QLM is this 5-pin connector in the front. This 5-pin connector, it's a way information are transmitted from the optics to the Orbiter. For example, the kind of optics, if it's an open face, what type of degree it is, and all this information will be in the Orbiter and also will be available on your lighting network via RDM and SACN, for example. The second port that you see, it's a power port for motorized accessories. Again, as I mentioned, it's future-proof. So today I'm not showing you any motorized accessories, but in the future we will develop motorized accessories, and that will be the power port to control these accessories. We will show you today 3 types of changeable optics: the open face, the projection optics, also called profile, and the dome. The open face are without any lenses. They are open face, as you know in the name, and they are based on the faceted reflector technology that you have in our M series, for example, if you're familiar with our product. So we have now a 60 degrees, and we have a 15 and 30 degrees. So Thomas will light the kitchen, and what you will see, it's a very crispy and bright light on me. It's a very defined angle. So when I talk about open face, don't think about a blondie or something very wide. It's a very defined angle and very directional beam, and with a crispy light output. You can see on me, you can see the single shadows on the back in the kitchen, and you can also look on the top, you can see the shadows of the Sky Panel. So very directional beam, very bright, and very clear and crispy light. every time you change the lens from 60 to 30 to 15, you increase your light output in the center by 50% because you narrow the beam. So Thomas is going to put a 15 degrees angle, and you will see that in the middle you have a big punch of light. Of course, these 15 degrees are mainly used for long throw shooting, and you know that. But I want to show you here in the kitchen, we don't have a lot of distance, but if I go in the beam, you will see that you have a massive amount of light coming outside of this 15 degrees open face, right? So I was in New Zealand recently to do some shooting on the big set, and we were shooting in a very big stage, and the gaffer was very This profile can be zoom in the future. We don't have any zoom profile for the moment. That's only fixed angle, but we will start to have only the fixed angle at first for delivery, right? So this application, of course, can be for motion pictures also, but mainly also for broadcast and live event application. And you can see you can go very sharp around a box like we are now covering 90% of the Rec 2020. So it's very interesting. can see the first window with the 8-color mode, extremely easy for you to access. You have the CCT, you have the HSI, you have the RGBALC, which is a single color control. You have the gel selection, you have the XY coordinate, the source matching, and the effect. The next one is the favorite. In the orbiter now you have 240 favorites. You can store anything. You can store your favorite XY coordinate. You can pick your gel. You can alterate your gel, as you know, as you do already in the Sky panel. You can record that, and you have 240 favorites. These favorites can be used locally, or they can be called back via DMX or any network. The second menu I want to show you is the main menu, the operational menu. You have DMX, lighting control, etc. That's very easy for you to access and to set up your light instantly almost. Before I talk about other things, I want to tell you this software is just the beginning, right? So what you see here is the first step. We are going to have several updates, and particularly we are going to have different languages. It's something you guys asked for. So this software will be available in the near future in Chinese, in Japanese, in Korean, in a lot of Asian languages. It was not possible with the Sky panel. It's going to be possible in the orbiter. Also, for the rental company, you will be able to have your logo at the boot start. So people will be able to recognize that it's your orbiter that is running on set. Few things like that. A lot of more crazy ideas will come. Stay tuned. It's just the first version. A lot of upgrades are coming. All this software and hardware needed a new electronics, a complete new electronic inside the orbiter. And in fact, the new processor inside the orbiter is running 125 times faster than in the Sky panel. So, of course, your light will not come faster on set, right? The light speed is the same. But when you have a lot of orbiter, when you have a lot of Sky panel, when you have a lot of components connected to your network, you need a fast processing power in the machine. And again, that is for future-proof. Networking is more and more important on set, so having a fast processor allows you to have a fast communication between different machines. This new electronic also allows us now to have an excellent dimming curve. It was a problem. You have reported that. We talk a lot together about the Sky panel dimming. The dimming inside the orbiter is much better. It has been improved, and now you don't have low-end mode or stage mode. You can choose between different dimmer curve, and you have a very smooth dimming. So that's new electronics allow new dimming inside the orbiter. The electronic also allow you to power the orbiter fully for 2.5 hours with a 40-volt DC battery. You have a connector at the back, so very important for location shooting. One thing you guys have asked for is the weatherproof. And I'm very, very pleased to announce that the orbiter is completely weatherproof, so you can go shooting under the snow in Korea or in Thailand, in the forest, in the jungle. I will visit you on set. I hope we will take a lot of rain, and the orbiter will survive and will run perfectly. So weatherproof, you will love it. I love it already. It's fantastic. One thing we have done also with the orbiter, we have redesigned the remote control. It's a removable control panel, so the same function that you have in your Sky panel remote control are available. It's plug and play. We are using a different connectors, much more stronger. It's from a camera department, and it's hot switch. So you connect the connector, you plug the connector, and you can use your control panel. You have 5-meter and 50-meter cable available on request. So, of course, everything you are used to do with your Sky panel remote, master, slave, etc., you can, of course, do that with this control panel. Communication. It's very important when you develop a new software and new hardware. The hardware needs to support all the software development, right? So, as we have done with the Sky panel, you will see the same with Orbiter. We are delivering one hardware, and we'll upgrade the software. But the hardware needs to be future-proof, as I said already many times now. So all the connector at the back, we believe you will need it in the near future. The first connector on the left, it's an SD card slot. It's for future software expansion, or if you need to take some data from outside, inside the orbiter, or orbiter data to the outside world. SD card, we believe that's a solid and reliable way to transfer data. The next port is an USB-C port. It's mainly for internal service and communication when you send us your orbiter for repair, for example. Next to this USB-C, you have two USB-A ports. You are very familiar with the USB-A. We had that on the sky panel. Huge success on set, mainly to charge the mobile phone. Now you can charge two mobile phones during your working time on set. So big improvement with the Orbiter. You can also connect a third-party peripheral or anything you do with the USB dongle. Next to that, you have two XLR DMX 5-pin connectors, in and out. Of course, you can daisy chain your DMX. You're familiar with DMX. Keep in mind, it's not only DMX, it's also RDM, which is a bidirectional protocol running on DMX cable. Very interesting. If you want to look more, I think ARRI has some tutorial about that online. It's a very good way to use your network, RDM, getting information from your orbiter. You can also use Ethernet. You have two Cat5, Cat6 connectors, and they are also daisy chain. So inside the orbiter, you have a hub. You don't need to do a star network. You can daisy chain your Cat5, Cat6 cable. On that, you can run ArtNet, SACN, and TCP/IP, of course. So great, great advanced technologically. I think no one in our lighting industry is designing light like that. Next to that, you have a new port. First time we have that on the lighting features. It's a sync port, and that's more related to the camera world, because we know that camera and lighting are going to talk more and more together, and we know, guys, you want to do that. So Orbiter is future-proof and ready to talk with camera. Today, you can do, for example, a frame accuracy, connecting camera and Orbiter together, but much more application in the future for sure will happen. So this is ready with this sync port. Finally, you have the Lumen Radio, CRMX antenna. You are familiar with that if you use our S360. This is a wireless solution, radio solution used in a lot of products. We are continuing our cooperation with Lumen Radio and the CRMX solution with the Orbiter. Inside the Orbiter, you have a full suite of sensors. Orbiter understands his environment and deliver information for you. So again, something very new for light. It's very, very intelligent light. The first sensor that I want to show you is on the top of the Orbiter. Here is a full color sensor, and that you are going to love it, guys. Basically what he does is in real time, he takes the light, the ambient light from your location, from your set, and he reproduces the light instantly. So you can imagine having that outdoor in location shooting when you have a cloud passing, these kind of things, but you can also imagine doing a car rig and take your Orbiter under the tunnel and it will reproduce the ambient light. Lot of application. I heard already so many crazy ideas about that. I cannot wait to go on set and to play with you with this color sensor. I think it's going to be amazing. The next set of sensors are less funny, but they are important. It's a three-axis accelerometer sensor. It's measuring in real time pan, tilt, and roll for the features. Very important for metadata collection for the VFX company, but also in the future, if we do a motorized yoke, for example, we need to know pan, tilt, and roll in real time. So that's already embedded inside the Orbiter. Another very important sensor is a magnetometer, and that is to measure or to find in real time the north position in the real world. So that allows you to get also data for metadata collection and for motorized application. We have on the control panel, we have a light sensor also that's automatically dim the control panel if you are in the low light environment. So the director or the DP will not scream at you. You will be covered. We think about you also. So the small light sensor will dim in real time the monitor light. And finally, inside the Orbiter, you have plenty of heat sensors on the LED engine, inside the electronics, to make sure we maintain a constant temperature inside the Orbiter to protect the LED and the electronics. Range of application, they are huge, right? Because it's a new product. Of course, we can use it in our core business, but we see already a lot of side application with the Orbiter. What I can tell you is for the motion pictures, the versatility, the 20,000 lumen, it's a hit, right? A lot of people are talking about the Orbiter and they want to use Orbiter on their next movie or their next drama production. The broadcasters can use the Orbiter in their studio. They have already a lot of sky panel. Orbiter is a good complement, for example, with open face. As I said before, the open face with the feeling like pebble lens or PC, they can be used, and also the profile can be used in complement of the soft light. So good addition to the broadcaster, for the broadcasters. And finally, we can see also a lot of projection optics and profile used in theater and live environment. It's a new market for us, and we are excited to look at that with you guys. So certainly more orbiter in live entertainment in the future. Finally, last but not least, the still photography market. They are in big transition currently. They are moving from flash photography to constant lighting, and definitely the continuous lighting with orbiter is very interesting for them because they can change from soft light to hard light in a click, and for photographer, orbiter is the tool to go. That was a very quick orbiter presentation and overview. To finish this presentation, and before I take your question, I would like just to recap few key elements. The quick lighting mount is the way you put your optics on the orbiter. The spectra is a new LED engine, 6 color, and the lighting operating system, the LIOS that control all that. I hope you understand all that, and you will have a lot of questions for me in a few seconds. I need to tell you one thing. This product is still made in Germany, like with the Sky panel and all other products in the same factory. We are manufacturing lighting since 1957. And you can find all the information you want about orbiter if you go on our website, www.arri.com/orbiter. So we already have several questions lining up. But before I take the first question, I want to give you a few information. We are actually more than 250 all together from all Asia Pacific on this live chat. So thank you guys for being with us. I want also to let you know that the result of the poll, so you massively voted in and selected the video mapping and intelligent lighting setup. So that's the next topic we will address in the live event. Should take place in May. We are working very hard with the colleagues to put that. Stay tuned for more information. You know our social media platform. You can go on Instagram, ARRI Asia, Instagram, ARRI Australia, and WeChat, ARRI China. We also have today some goodies for you. So every question I'm going to pick will receive amazing present. I have some sample for you. You will receive first the great orbiter cap, and I know it looks great on me, you know, and you will also receive this amazing t-shirt, you know, the ARRI t-shirt with the orbiter at the back. So send your question. If I pick your question, you get the goodies sent to you as soon as possible from our lovely marketing team. So without delay, let's try to start the question. So the first question I see on my screen is from KK, and it's about the the control panel, asking if it's going to be a touch panel. KK, no, it's not going to be a touch panel. It's on purpose. We want to avoid any incidental to make sure that nothing touches the screen and change your settings. So it's on purpose that we didn't pick a touch panel. You press button and you need to go inside your menu. But it's a very easy control panel to handle, and I'm sure you will love it. So no touch panel for the control. The second question I see on my screen, it's about Stellar 2. Stellar 2, you know, guys, just been released yesterday. Lot of new features in Stellar. You can now control third-party product. You can do a lot of things with Stellar. So we are working very, very hard, and the product manager, they are online, so they can also exchange with you. We are working very hard to have orbiter working with Stellar 2. That should be okay by Q3, Q4 this year, when we are going to release the new version, the LIOS version 2, because as I mentioned before, we are going to have a lot of update about the software. So stay tuned. Stellar will work with orbiter very soon, but don't wait. Go download the Stellar 2 because it's amazing. Third-party product now, plus all the features. You will love it. Another question from Ben. So obviously, Ben, you like the 2 LAN port. Thank you very much. I think that's also me. I like that. And you want to know if you can daisy chain also Ethernet and DMX. So yes, you can daisy chain your DMX network, and you can do exactly the same with Ethernet. So it gives you much more flexibilities. As I mentioned just before, you don't need to do a star network. Really having 2 ports, it's a big innovation from ARRI. I see a lot of questions in the chat in Indonesian also. I cannot read it, unfortunately, but I'm sure it's very, very interesting. I can see a question from Roberto. Roberto is asking, when are we going to first deliver orbiter? So that's a very good question, Roberto, and I think a lot of people ask this question. We are, as you know, worldwide in the middle of a difficult crisis. We are working very hard in the factory in Germany to finalize the orbiter. We are really foreseeing delivery starting around August. And after that, soon we will ship, and guys, you will have orbiter in your country. So be patient, be with us. I know you want to play with orbiter, but we cannot go faster than that. So August is the time frame I can give you for this question. Another question from Hélène. How many orbiter Sky panel can be connected together? A lot. I think we can go to 250 something units. The limitation is on the network. I think it's more computer-related information. Maybe our product manager online, I know that Nancy, she's online. She can maybe answer you, Elaine, or any colleague from Germany if you have more information on the number. But I think it's 200 something units, so a large number of orbiter. Ciao. I'm interested in the color gamut of the orbiter, especially the green. So does it achieve P3? So what I can tell you, and as I mentioned before, we have a very, very large color gamut. We cover 90% of the REC 2020. I believe it's a rare product in the industry covering this large color gamut. It's very important, as I mentioned, because we have a lot of different skin tone in our region, so a large color gamut deliver best result. You're right, the green, it's really difficult to achieve the full spectrum of the green. We are covering a large part of the green, but obviously not the full REC 2020. You can go on our website, look for more information. We will place soon more technical data about the Spectra LED engine, so stay tuned if you have more questions. Another question from my friend Gunnar from Indonesia. How big is the intensity? What light we can compare? That's a good question, Gunnar. I don't think you can compare to anything. Orbiter is a beast on its own, particularly if you think that it can be a soft light and it can be a hard light, it can be an open face, it can be a profile, so it's very difficult to give you a comparison. The best thing is for you to think that Orbiter is a new tool in your toolbox. You know already we deliver 20,000 lumen, which is a large amount of light, and I'm sure knowing your experience, Gunnar, you are going to do amazing shooting in Indonesia with the Orbiter. So cannot compare with anything. It's like Sky Panel. It's a new product. Use it, play with it, enjoy that, guys. It's going to be fantastic. More question. A question from my colleague TJ from Korea, so I need to read it twice. Can Sky Panel match the Kelvin? And I believe TJ is referring to the light sensor on the top of the orbiter. So yes, so when you are in the sensor mode, the orbiter will match in real time the information received by the light sensor. So it's the CCT and the color, right? So that is a completely new innovation from ARRI. I know you are all excited to use that. And as I said before, I cannot wait to visit you on set and to make sure you use that in a crazy application. I heard already so many ideas. Tung from Vietnam, is the orbiter connected to mapping system, Spectra, and RGBW? And can it work with Sky Panel? Yes, that's the idea. Orbiter is an intelligent lighting. It follows Sky Panel, who was already, and it's still an intelligent lighting, so we are expanding our family. The video mapping, it's a topic, and the proof is you guys, you selected that for our next ARRI Hour in Asia. Thomas Binzer, who is with me here, has been across Asia talking about video mapping a lot. I'm sure you remember some training we did also in Vietnam recently about video mapping. So yes, Orbiter will work perfectly in the video mapping and in an intelligent lighting environment. And the color calibration between Sky Panel and Orbiter will absolutely match. So yes, it's a win-win situation. Use Orbiter, use Sky Panel in any application where you want to use video mapping. Patrick, question for Patrick. Do you think you're phasing out any ARRI light because of the Orbiter? Well, that's a good question, Patrick. I think we have a very large portfolio of product, as you know, and we have tungsten, we have HMI now, we have LED. We always look at what you guys use on set and what is your tool of equipment, what is your toolbox, what do you need. So, for example, it's not because we released the orbiter that we are going to stop doing some Fresnel tungsten because it's a very different light, but definitely always we review the product and we have phased out some product in the recent year because it was no demand, the product was not in use. But I don't see orbiter taking any space from old product. Is a new product and new tool in your toolbox, particularly knowing that now you can change from hard light to soft light to profilers. It's really something new and it's an add-on to your toolbox. So be reassured, Patrick, we are keeping the range of product as it is, and you will see more things coming from us very soon on top of orbiter. Built-in wireless, question for from Yekwa. Sorry if I misspell your name. So yes, as you can see, wireless solution. So it's a Lumen radio solution, as I mentioned before. We have been working with Lumen radio since SkyPanel, and it's embedded in the S360. You find also a Lumen radio solution in our Skylink. It's a very strong wireless radio solution, and we have a very good cooperation with them. So yes, it's wireless. You can control it with any Lumen radio existing application. You can also control it, of course, via Stellar and all application that we are providing. So it's a solid solution. Scott, I've been asked, first one, is there is a 40-volt battery option? Yes, Scott, good question. We have absolutely a 40-volt battery, and I think I showed you that earlier on the port at the back of the orbiter. You will have around 3.5 hours of full power on battery for location shooting. That's very important, and I know, guys, you want to take the orbiter out. I'm pretty sure I will have more questions about the outdoor shooting, but definitely battery ticked. You will have a battery solution. Paul from the Philippines. Hi, Paul. I hope you're well. Stay well, mate. Will the lighting effect work with the sky panel when using master-slave function? Will the sky panel, I need to think twice. I will answer yes, because master and slave will work. So your effect should also be the same. My dear friend from product management, you are online. If I make any mistakes, please correct me. I will not be upset if I say a mistake. But I believe you are right, Paul. You can do that. Tung, I have another good question from you. Is the orbiter connected with the mapping system, Spectra? An all-LED system, sky panel will get misunderstood? No, that will work perfectly. I just want to address one topic. Sky panel, it's an RGBW LED engine. Orbiter, you have a Spectra, as I mentioned before, 6-color LED engine. You don't have white LED. The white is reproduced by the color. You have a much larger color gamut, as you know, now in the orbiter. So everything will match in the sky panel, but some color you can achieve in the orbiter you cannot achieve in the sky panel because the color gamut is reduced. So that is the limit of what you can do. But for the rest, the calibration, everything will work like a charm. Jay from Korea, how long is the remote cable? That's a very, very good question, Jay. So you have two cables. You have 5 meter and 10 meter, I believe. 15, Thomas, thank you very much, 15, 5 meter and 15 meter. We use a Limo Connector. I didn't mention specifically the name before. It's much stronger than the USB, and it's also water resistant, and it's the reason why we use the Limo Connector. Tool unit from Thailand, thanks to be with us, guys. Orbiter can control zoom lens like a lighting stage. Not for the moment. For the moment, as I have introduced and Thomas showed you just before, we have 3 types of optics that we are delivering. We have the open face, we have the profiler, and we have the dome, as you can see. We are working on more accessories. we will have a zoom profile. It's in development. I have no timing to give you today for this presentation, but definitely we will have something, and it will be a control zoom, as you mentioned. So yes, not only from stage lighting, but of course we are thinking orbiter will be very good for stage lighting. And when we are on this topic, Thomas, can you bring or can you show to the friends the new orbiter we just received? Is the black version of the orbiter. It's awesome. It's part of our demo kit here in Hong Kong. We are going to ship that around for you to play with it. It's mainly for broadcasters, for theaters who want a black unit. Look at that. It's so sexy. I love it already. So you can choose the blue and silver, very traditional, but you can also have the black, and really, I like the black. It's a great product. Thanks, Thomas. Another question, maybe from Ben. When the photometric data of orbiter will be available. So it's a tricky question, Ben, because as you understand now, orbiter is not one light, right? It's in fact several lights. So every time you change the optics, you have different photometric data. So I know the product managers are working very hard to produce all this data. It will be online. As soon as we will have all the photometric, they will be online. You check our website, you check the microsite orbiter, and you will have the photometric data. But keep in mind, it's not one answer. It's going to be multiple data according to different lenses or different optics you put in front of your orbiter. Roberto asked me if I mentioned about price. So no, I didn't mention about price, Roberto, and I will not mention about price. We have released the price. Please approach your distributor, your ARRI representative in your country. All the prices are published now in China, in Asia, in Australia. We have a price list ready for you guys. What I can say, it's a very cost-effective product because you can really handpick what you need, what optic you need. So it's designed for you to have a minimum investment and a maximum return on investment with this product. So contact your ARRI dealer, contact your ARRI representative for price list if you need. A question from Denton, can you turn on your demo unit so I can see how you can make it hard and soft light? I just did that before, Denton, you miss it. I'm sorry, but we will be able to do the demonstration in your country very soon because we have now a series of units that are going across Asia Pacific for local demonstration. If you miss the beginning of the presentation, please stay tuned and we will do a demo for you in your country. I can guarantee you very soon. Gunnar, translating a question from Janus. Thanks, Gunnar. And again, thanks to all our ambassadors taking the local languages, translating in English. Great job, guys. I love the spirit. So question from Janus. Does the gel filter application from Tiffen and Roscoe works like the Sky Panel? So in the Sky Panel, we have the Lee and Roscoe filters. Library, you will have exactly the same in the orbiter. And I believe it's also what people like because really you can pick your gel and instantly have the color you like and the number you know. So yes, it works exactly the same way. You have the gel library inside your orbiter. Another question now from Pia. When you say weatherproof, is it resistant or completely waterproof? It's a good question. So if you ask me for an IP rating, we don't have an IP rating yet. We are waiting to finalize the certification, and I'm pretty sure our colleagues from product management will release the IP rating soon. But we are confident the product is waterproof, meaning that you can take it outside, you can shoot under the rain. And as I said before, I cannot wait to visit you in Thailand under massive rainstorm or in Korea under big snowstorm. We will have a lot of fun together outdoor. It's really an outdoor features. And I cannot wait to be with you and play with it in the snow or in tropical rain. Another question, can we do the same with orbiter than M8? Is it similar? Again, yes and no, depending how you use the M8. What is your application? Certainly, you can do a lot of things you do with the M8, but you can do much more than with the orbiter. So you can look on our website also, you can look at some tutorials, some photo released by marketing are also very interesting because you can see some application of the orbiter, and that can give you some idea. So definitely, yes, you can do some M8 application, but you can do much more with the orbiter. What is the light spread, asked Noah, of the orbiter without any modifier? So we have, Thomas, you want? 80 degrees, exactly. So 80 degrees is the light without any optics. Now, the orbiter has a lot of safety features, and you cannot turn on the light if you don't have the optics. That's a safety feature, so you will need to have an optic, an open face, or a profile, or a dome. If you remove the optics, the light will turn off. So, but I can give you a secret. Yeah, I tell you a secret. We are working on some accessories that will give the full opening of the light, but I'm not allowed to tell you, so keep that. It's a secret. It's between us. How many people we are? I think it's around 300 people now on the chat, so that's a great, great, great turnout. I'm really, really happy to see you guys all with us. And we have more questions coming. And a question from Dan. Any accessory plan in the future? Dan, yes, lot of accessories, lot of things I cannot tell you, a lot of things I can tell you. As I mentioned before, we start to deliver the 3 open face, the fixed angle profile, and the 3 dome. Already around the profile that we know that a zoom profile will come, right? Relatively soon, we are working very hard on that. As you have seen in the beginning of the presentation, the front of the orbiter has a power supply to control and ability to control accessories. So obviously you can imagine that we are working already on some zoom accessories. Of course, you all expect a Fresnel. Fresnel will come when, I don't know, but definitely we are working on some Fresnel. So, and a lot of more accessories are in development, a lot of crazy ideas. If you have idea, if you think you need something, let us know, contact us, contact your representative, send me an email, send an email to product manager, contact marketing. We always like to hear from you. What do you think you need? That's the key for us. The good news is orbiter hardware is fixed. Now with the QLM, we can attach any new optics, any new design. That's the revolution, and we are very, very happy about that. So yes, much more accessory to come in the future. Thanks for the question, Dan. Only one softbox accessory. No, we have multiple softbox accessories. I show you today only the dome. That's from, it's a snapback. As I mentioned, you will have an adapter to receive some Chimera product, and also other DP choice. So in fact, you will have a large array of big soft boxes that you can use for motion pictures, but also for still photography. So yes, we are going to have much more softbox application. Another question from Miko. What are the new DMX feature from ARRI and the next feature coming in? So I'm not sure what you are referring to, Miko, but maybe you are talking about RDM and SACN and all this new protocol. And it's a good question, and I want to take a few seconds about that. The motion picture industry just start to use heavily DMX, but I know I have been and I go regularly on set with you guys, and I know sometimes even a board operator with DMX is difficult to have. But in fact, DMX, it's an old protocol. The lighting industry has been moving on for years now beyond DMX. RDM is the next step. It's a DMX, it's using the DMX cable, but it's bidirectional, so you get feedback from your orbiter. And of course, that is a very, very good protocol. I all encourage you to look at the RDM. It's very simple to set and to use, and Orbiter has a very, very good RDM implementation. SkyPanel also can be used with RDM. But you have also SACN, which is an Ethernet standard protocol used for large application, and it's a TCP/IP base. So yes, Orbiter is ready for any control protocol that you want to use, no problem. ArtNet, of course, I think we have also one of the best ArtNet implementation in the industry, both in SkyPanel and in Orbiter. So yeah, connect it, play with it, any protocol, it's worked, it's solid, and it's proven. We use very, very strong protocol implementation. That was a very good question, Miko. I hope I answer your question. Question from Xiang Xian, what the working temperature for orbiter? So I don't have the final data sheet. We are working on the final specs. What I can tell you is definitely it's the same as the sky panel or any LED product ARRI is developing. It's why we have a lot of sensor inside the orbiter to make sure that the temperature inside the unit is maintained for the quality of your light, but also for the long lasting of your LED, for make sure the electronic is well cooled down. So I will think that minus 20 up to 40 degrees, it's a reasonable temperature of operation. Please refer to the sky panel. It should be the similar range. Again, my dear product manager colleagues, if it's wrong information, please correct me, but I think we are in the good range of operating temperature. Another question for Miko. Will CRMX be built in all features in the future? So if you are referring to new product after Orbiter, I cannot tell you because for the moment Orbiter is our new features. All Orbiter will be delivered with the CRMX interface. That's already mentioned. For the old product, the S360, so the Sky Panel S360 is already equipped with CRMX, and in any case, you can have all the ARRI LED features, the L series, and other Sky Panel working on CRMX because you can use Skylink, and you put the transmitter on the Skylink, and you have a radio transmission. So you can use CRMX and wireless DMX solution in all LED products provided by ARRI. Another question, what type of diffusion is in the dome? So the dome is a fabric material, and that gives you this very soft light, as you saw before on Thomas' face. So it's a very diffused and soft light. The material is the soft bag that you saw here, the snap bag is by DOP choice. So it's the same material you will find in any other DOP choice product. Similarly with Chimera, you will have the same product quality available from Chimera. We have more questions coming. It's non-stop the flow of questions from Osbong. How many watts from Orbiter? So the Orbiter deliver 20,000 lumen. I think it's a 400 watt engine, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry? Up to 500. Up to 500 watt. So that gives you some idea. But again, try to see beyond that, beyond the data, beyond how many watts. Look at the light output of the orbiter, and it's why play with it as soon as you can, because, for example, when you put a 60 degrees or 15 degrees open face, it's a complete different light. You will have much more light. Of course, in the center, you will have a beam in the 15 degrees. So again, data are important, but look and feel, use it on application. It's much more important than anything else. So that is the key. Play with it. When we do demo in your country, come visit us. As soon as we can travel, I promise you we are going to go across Asia Pacific with Orbiter, and we will run some demo. Another question from Narasena. Would you make bigger or smaller orbiter in the future? It's a very good question, and I'm sure a lot of people ask this question. For the moment, we have one orbiter. It's in front of you. We are going to concentrate in doing more accessories. That's what we are going to do first. I cannot read. I don't have any crystal ball. I'm not sure what product management has for us in reserve. But as you have seen, with Sky Panel in the past, Sky Panel came with one product, and we developed a family. So I'm confident that Orbiter should have also some brother and sister in the future. But first, we have one Orbiter. We are very confident. It's very versatile. It's addressing a lot of market, a lot of application. 20,000 lumen. It's a lot of light output for you to use. So we are confident that with this Orbiter, existing Orbiter with the new Spectra LED engine, you will love it, and you will not wait for the smaller or bigger Orbiter. You are going to use that on set, I can guarantee you. Other question? maybe from, I see a question from Gunnar, translating from Batara. Is this the same lighting effect menu with sky panel or additional light effect? So it's a good question, and that also remind me that a lot of people knows very well sky panel in this chat. So yes, all the sky panel effects are implemented in the orbiter. So if you are familiar of the sky panel, you will know intuitively how to use the orbiter because you will have your effect, you will have the same XY coordinate application, etc., etc. So yes, all the effects are implemented. Maybe in the future we will have effects that are specially designed for the orbiter. Again, it's depending on the optics attached. So maybe some optics will necessitate or will help us to create some specific effect. But for the moment, all the effects you have in the sky panel exist in the orbiter. Great question. Thank you for that. Question from Norman. Has the orbiter been connected to the ARRI camera? So as I have shown you before, Norman, we have a sync port on the orbiter, and that's very new in the lighting industry. We are expecting much more communication between camera and lighting in the future. I know you guys, you talk a lot on set about that. What will be the future and the interaction between product. As ARRI, we have a unique position in the industry because we do both camera and lighting, and we understand deeply the both hardware and both application. So yes, I believe camera and lighting will talk more together. The first application will be certainly frame rate accuracy between camera and lighting, but we are talking with DPs, we are talking with gaffers, and already a lot of ideas for future development. Again, hardware is ready, and that was very important. Now, software development will come. Again, if you have idea, if you talk between camera department and lighting department, share with us. We always love to hear from you guys. Another question about from Chao. Will there be more new light with the Spectra light source from ARRI? So I'm glad you mentioned that because it was a very short presentation I did in the introduction, and maybe I didn't really explain enough about this new Spectra engine. It's unique in our industry. No one else is using the LED we are using. They have been specially developed for ARRI by LED manufacturer. The fact that we have a 6-color engine, it's a great improvement. 90% of the Rec 2020, I think no one else in the industry covers this large color of Gamut. So yes, the Spectra LED engine for ARRI is a new LED engine base. So whatever we are going to do in the future, the Spectra will be the core LED engine. So definitely Spectra, it's here to stay. It's the same with Lios. We are going to have new Lios software upgrade, but the structure we have is our new platform. So Spectra, Lios, QLM, the quick lighting mount are here to stay. A question from Kara. Luminescence reach is optimum until what height as a main source for moonlight, for example? Again, that's depending on your application. During the presentation, I was referring, if you use the 15 degrees, which is a very narrow beam, you will have a very, very strong light source, light point in the middle. I was in New Zealand not long ago, and we did testing on large sound stages. As I said, two football field size, and really we had a very, very strong beam at the end of the stage. So again, do some testing, play with it, but really if you want to do this kind of throw, the 15 degrees angle, you will love it. So try it as soon as you can. Go to an ARRI demo and play with it. I'm sure you will like it. You change the dimming profile of the orbiter. So as I mentioned before, the new electronics inside the orbiter is allowing us to do a perfect 0 to 100 dimming, right? So we don't have now low hand mode or stage mode. All that has been removed. It doesn't exist in the orbiter because we have a very, very smooth dimming. So you can use orbiter in any live application, theater, opera, also broadcast when you need to dim very softly from 0 to 100 or from 100 to 0. And you will have a different dimming curve that you can select in the orbiter like in the dimmer pack, so really strong dimming. What type of cooling is used in orbiter? That's a good question. Orbiter has a different type of cooling inside. I'm not really allowed to tell you much more about the inside of the orbiter, but what you need to know, it's a cooling has been designed to make sure that the LED and the electronics stay always at the same temperature. You can shoot indoor, outdoor, it can be hot, it can be cold. You will maintain the same temperature inside the orbiter, and that is very important for you because that means your investment, your hardware is going to work for a long period of time. It's what we have done in the Sky Panel. We want to protect your investment, and we want to make sure when you are on set, you will have no problem with ARRI lights. So cooling is well controlled inside the orbiter. Another question, will ARRI release a general device type format GDTF from Miko profile? That's a great question, Miko. Thank you very much. The GDTF format, it's a new format. Several manufacturers are involved. ARRI is involved. And yes, I'm thinking about my colleague Patrick in the US and Nancy from product management. They are working very hard on the GDTF format. So yes, you will have a GDTF profile and much more to come in the future about this GDTF with the orbiter. So that was a great question. Thank you, Miko, for that. Another question, I believe, from Roberto. There's going to be a new version of Sky Panel with Spectra and Laios. No, we are not going to do a new version of Sky Panel with Spectra and Laios. Spectra, Laios, as I mentioned in my presentation, are attached to a completely new electronic environment. It's why it's one platform, and that is orbiter. Nevertheless, Sky Panel is still a very strong platform. You use it daily around the region, and Sky Panel will work perfectly with orbiter. So we have no plan to change anything inside the orbiter. The hardware inside the Sky Panel, the hardware is there to stay, but both are working very well and complete very well together. So it's a good team, Sky Panel and orbiter. I mentioned that also for broadcasters. I did that quickly in the presentation, but definitely orbiters in your TV studios will complete very well your Sky Panel. All the soft light you are using, orbiter will help you. If you put an open face, you can have something like a Pebble lens or PC lens effect. So yes, it's going to be very good to work also in broadcast. We have only 2 or 3 minutes together, so I take the last question from Miko. How many DMX parameters for the ARRI orbiter? And I think that I don't have the answer, Miko, but I will ask my colleagues, product management, to be in touch with you directly. We will send you all this information. So I hope you had a good time with us. I had an amazing time with you guys. I think we can do that every month or every week. My marketing colleagues behind the camera, they are looking at me like that. They don't want, but look, it's amazing. I think we are more than 300 people currently all together online. Thanks for being with us. That shows us also that you guys, you miss us, and we miss you a lot. We want to see you more, and I hope that was a good way to interact together. Thanks for all the questions. Really appreciate all the questions. Thanks to all the colleagues online also who helped me to prepare this event. The marketing colleagues will send you all your T-shirt, your cab. Thanks for the question. That was great. Stay tuned for the next live stream, right? We are going to do about video mapping and intelligent lighting. Thomas is preparing that. That's going to be a great event we are going to do very soon in May. So stay tuned, stay safe, and stay inspired. Bye.